price is rising.
Whoa, Bob Barker looks terrible.
Ew. Oh, he's even older than I thought.
Folks, please, Bob Barker is dead, and I'm your president, Joe Biden.
It looks like a Halloween decoration.
Oh, come on, man. Now, welcome to The Price is Rising, where you guess how much the cost of common household goods has changed during my pregnancy. Because guess what? Bidenomics is working.
What's going on, everyone? It's Talks to Kenny here today, and Bidenomics is definitely not working, especially for millennials, anyone who's working, anyone who has to pay bills. My goodness, this economy is really kicking everyone's butt. Luckily for me, I don't have a lot of debt going on. I just finished paying off my car, thank God, because now the average car payment is $700. But hey, that's just my situation. I want to talk about a new survey that came out recently that millennials say they need $500,000 a year to be happy. As a millennial, and I'm the last millennial, 1996, 27-year-old. Yeah, I don't think I need to make that much money, but I think what's going on in our current culture is that there's a lot of consumerism that's been, I say, socially engineered into millennials and a lot of the younger generations. Because let's go a couple of bulletin points here. A new survey found that the average person needs $1.2 million in the bank to be happy. Especially with this inflation, we definitely all feel like we need that to be happy, right? For millennials, happiness comes from a survey. And there's surveys that show that the more money people make, they tend to attribute more happiness to it. So that makes sense. Still, inflation's high, interest rates and student loans damper Americans' financial happiness. And I think this is the biggest proponent to why millennials feel like they need a high income, because just to be honest, a lot of millennials, they spend a lot more money on luxury items. We eat out more than the previous generation. We have more, let me hold on one second. And I'm back. Yeah, my little one was causing up a storm. So let's get back to my point. So they say financial happiness is dampened because we spend more money, so much more money on streaming services. We just have more, we spend more money on wants than needs. While the older generation, they were more practical. I mean, they had less luxuries available. If you see a millennial, they're buying $1,000 phones. Like, I always joke around that I know a lot of people in my family that makes way substantially less money than I do, but their phones are newer than mine. All right. And I think that contributes a lot to the financial literacy of the millennial generation, why they believe, because it's kind of true. I agree with this. I think as millennials, we don't like sacrifice. We want our cake and eating it too. So in a way, that $500,000 income, it allows people to have both. Hey, I want to have all the luxury items. I want to be able to go out and eat Starbucks every damn day, maybe 3 times a day, and not having to feel like I don't have any money for savings and other luxuries. But in this economy, it ain't possibly happening. So in this next clip, I want to show KGBP, right? Karen Jean-Pierre, yeah. And how she responds to the question from Peter Ducey, I believe I say his name right, probably. Hopefully I did. And he questioned her on how Bidenomics, is it really working? And why does he believe she's the only one that thinks that? Let's take a look.
Why do you think it is that when you say the economy is improving and President Biden says the economy is improving, that a majority of Americans outside of this building are not buying it?
So here's the thing. When we walked into this administration, the economy was on a tailspin. That is the fact. Because of the last administration, because of the Trump administration, because of how they dealt with COVID and the pandemic, because they didn't have a comprehensive plan. The president came in, he passed the American Rescue Plan, which was able to get the economy back on its feet, which was able to open up small businesses were able to open up, schools were able to open up, and we understand what Americans have been feeling over the last 2-3 years. It's going to take some time. We get that. It's going to take some time, but it does not take away how we have seen the economy getting back on its feet. We actually had to fix the problem that we saw that the last administration left us.
Fix the problems that the last administration gave us is a quote from Karen Jean-Pierre. I keep trying to say it in Creole. And here's my thing. Here's what I'm thinking with this, right? 2021, they passed the American Rescue Plan, which was essentially where we got the $1,400 stimulus check, right, per person. And I believe this caused inflation, right? This bill here caused inflation. This bill here, and you can read it on your own. Like, you don't need me to here paraphrase what the bill does, but it's pretty much a government subsidy where, we got paid the stimulus check. But the difference between what Trump passed in 2020, or was it 2020, was that people weren't working and people didn't have the ability to work because everybody was shutting down. Now with hindsight, we can see hindsight in 2023 is that was a bad move. That a lot of the working age Americans were less susceptible of dying from COVID than the elderly. The elderly were already pretty much majority of them, not a majority of them, but a large substantial amount of them are already out of the workforce. So therefore, they wouldn't hold down the economy. The correct solution with hindsight would have been elderly, stay in your homes, elderly, take the vaccines, elderly, keep your 6 feet, whatever. Young, working age, adults, kids, go to school, continue to go to school. If you want to wear a mask, go ahead, wear a mask. Pretty much what Florida realized after 2 weeks of playing the game. And we all fell into this assumption that we all had to do it in a general way. Like, if you did anything outside the norm, and this is my problem with a lot of politics, is that there's a lot of conformity in it, right? If you have a contrary opinion, a contrary view, people will try to demonize you as irresponsible, as a traitor, as a grifter, merely because you see something differently, right? Ron DeSantis decided after 2 weeks, all right, this is not working for us. Let's do this. The thing I just outlined right now. Elderly, stay in your house. Working age people, go out and work. Whatever makes you feel comfortable to go out to work. If you want to get a vaccine, go ahead. You want to wear a mask, go ahead. But don't be trying to create policies to force people to comply to your flawed solution during this whole COVID hysteria. And look who's proven right. And this is my problem with American politics, is that we don't pay attention long enough to understand, hey, was this the correct choice to make? Was it the correct choice in 2021 to pass a stimulus package when technically we're coming out of COVID? People are already going back to work. And you just added unnecessary more dollars in circulation, which caused inflation. Because Biden, if I remember, Bidenomics, this is the irrefutable fact. Biden had the worst inflation in 40 years. And you may have lowered inflation, but inflation is still high compared to when Trump's administration was going on. Now, I'm not trying to compare. And today, the only problem I have with this administration is that they want to claim that they have all the solutions, but they weren't contributing to none of the problems. And this is my biggest problem with the Biden administration. They do not want to take accountability, because now this is the reality in America in 2023. Let's take a look at this clip.
Like, I feel like my husband and I are doing everything right. We both have good jobs. I'm a nurse. I'm a registered nurse. I work full-time. He works full-time. We just got paid this past Friday, right? We paid the mortgage. Bought some groceries. Put some gas in the car. And guys, it is Tuesday, and we have like $200 or $300 to last us until next Friday. Like, we don't live in a big house. We live in a little ranch. It's 1,100 square feet, 3 bedrooms, 1 bath, us and our 2 kids. And like, I don't know what to do. Like, I'm in school full time. I work full time. He works more than full time. He works overtime every week. I don't know what to do. I'm so stressed out. This isn't how it's supposed to be. Growing up, we were told, go to college, get a degree, work to support your family. Here we are. Did that. Now what? Now what?
I can only imagine, right? And I'm working. I'm the single. We're a single income home, right? My family, right? And the only reason we're so okay is that we don't have a lot of debt to pay off. So a lot of our income is not tied up into frivolous things, right? We minimize our spending, we budget properly, and we still have a budget for fun stuff, right? And I think that's the plan to go nowadays. I think people have to make some sacrifice with their luxuries until we find ourselves in a better situation where there's more economic activity. Because right now, this is the prime example of what Reagan said. The worst thing the government can say is I'm here to help, because they cause more problems than they actually provide solutions. And this is my biggest problem with the Biden administration, is that they think that, oh, we can lower prices and there's not going to be a negative blowback to it. Right. And this is why Trump is winning. This is why Biden's numbers are down in the polls. Right. This is why millennials feel like they need $500,000 to make it out here, because I believe they have the highest debt, right? Student loan debt out of the previous generations, right? Gen Z are starting a trend where a lot of them are not going to college. A lot of them want to be more entrepreneurs. The streaming thing is taking off. So Gen Z, they're like, yeah, we don't need all this. And millennials were the last generation that really bought into college is the pathway to success. And even me, I was taught that. I'm 96. I'm 27 years old. I'm the last millennial, right? I'm part of the last millennial generation, the Zillennials, if you will. And I kind of challenged that orthodoxy. I was like, yo, I don't need to go to college. I don't need to finish college to be successful. And I proved it with my own life experience. I didn't finish school. I mean, I have a 2-year degree from a community college. That's about it. Everything else, I found creative ways to gain opportunities to where I'm at the level that I am today, that I'm owning a house at 27 years old, no student loan debt. And I think this is why millennials feel like they need to make a lot of more money. So even though I know this is like, many people will see this. I mean, I just saw Tim gawk at this, that this is unrealistic. Oh, millennials are entitled. I just believe that's the want. Like, that's the desire. Like, hey, look, I know a lot of millennials that's drowning in debt. I know a lot of millennials that don't know how they're going to pay the bills, how they're going to be able to do what they want and provide what they need. And honestly, I think today is going to be the year of sacrifice, man. But I think a lot of people don't have a long-term memory to actually sit here and understand that a lot of the things the government do for you causes more issues. Like many people are attributing this cause more inflationary increases than Trump's plan, because Trump's plan, people were holding money. People were using it as a savings cushion. During Trump's administration, people had the highest savings amount, I believe, in recent memory. A lot of Americans saved that money because they were weathering the storm of COVID. Once 2021, Biden wins. Everyone's coming out of COVID, and Biden, just for optics, wanted to pass his own version of the stimulus bill to compete with Trump. And that's what's shallow to me. That was superficial to me. I'm like, yo, what's the point of passing a bill just because the last guy did it? The circumstances isn't the same as the last guy, so you have no reason to pass your own version of a stimulus package. But Biden want to look cool. Biden can't let Trump be the president that was giving free money. He has to get free money too. And this is the result of it, what we're facing today in 2023. High inflation. But he thinks, does the Biden administration take accountability for that? No. And this is why I can't trust a party that cannot take accountability for their own mistakes and failures. There's no self-reflection here. Maybe the American Rescue Plan was a bad idea. No self-reflection at all. But that's the game of politics today. It's more like theater and more like optics. They care about looking good than being good. But hey, I digress. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section. I hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. I hope it wasn't too painful for you guys going out there buying turkeys and meals for your family and loved ones. I hope you guys enjoyed your time with your family. And I'll catch you guys on the next video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. I really do appreciate you guys for watching to the end of the video. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.